radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area.
The time is 10 a.m.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning into the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. My name is Kathleen, and I'm here with Gay and Pat. We invite you to listen to our broadcasts both live and on demand. Our live sessions are available on Blind Community Thrift Store YouTube channel, Monday to Friday, between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. each weekday. Additionally, you can access on-demand content through the Audio Reader Network, which offers a wide range of audio materials for the visually impaired community. To explore content from the Audio Reader Network, please visit www www.reader.ku.edu. The site provides details about accessing content via Amazon Alexa, Audio Reader Network mobile app, and information on receiving a radio to listen to the broadcast by KSUM Radio. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a program radio. And now I turn you over to Gay.
Our first story this morning comes from the Springfield Daily Citizen. Out of Christian County, Nixa moves forward with plans for a skate park trails on Century Farm. Nixa has big plans for the Eoff family Century Farm, including a walking trail and a possible future event center. The Parks Department is also in the early stages of planning a skate park after years of interest from residents. This story is by Zoe McIntyre. The first picture shows the Eoff family Century Farm with their original house from the Nixa Parks Department. Nixa City Council approved a 5-year capital improvement plan with funding budgeted to begin early work on a 2-year long-discussed parks project, the Eoff Family Century Farm Park and a new skate park. Both projects received earmarks of $250,000 in the CIP December 9th. Nixa's Director of Parks and Recreation, Matt Klaus, said the city will put out a bid for a contractor to begin developing the farm after January 1. The skate park is still in its early design phase. Members of the Eoff family donated 105 acres of farmland to Nixa in 2 roughly even parcels split by Gwynn Road, which used to be called Route AA. The city acquired one portion of the land in 2018 and another in 2020, according to the records from the Christian County Assessor's website. Nixa has several amenities planned for the north half of the property, including a trail system and a possible future event venue and river access. Klaus hopes the trail will someday connect to the Ozarks Greenway system in Greene County. The park may open to the public with a walking trail completed in 2026. It will start off fairly low-key, but the idea of getting people on the property is the most exciting part, Klaus said. There is also a picture associated with this article of the 14 different access points for the future park. The Eoff Century Farm belonged to the family since 1880, according to Klaus. 2 brothers from the family donated the property on the condition that it would become a park. Additionally, the city must preserve 2 structures on the site, a barn and a house. One build the structure back to its likeness according to the family's wishes. Records from the Christian County Assessor's site indicated that the barn was constructed nearly 100 years ago in 1927. The story has an accompanying picture of that particular barn, and it is a beautiful site where you can see the blue sky and land everywhere and the green grass. There's still a lot of debate and a lot of ideas of what we could do with that space, whether the barn becomes more of an event center or it could just build back to an open-air pavilion, Klaus said. The Parks Department plans to open the site with a walking trail in 2026. The department has planned about 1 linear mile of trail for the park. There will also be benches, picnic tables, and about 35 to 40 parking spaces on a graveled lot. In total, Klaus estimated the development of the Eoff Family Century Farm Park would cost $15 to $20 million and take over a decade to build out. Eoff Family Century Farm Park's walking trail will pass through the forested land bordered by a section of the James River. Ozarks Greenway's Ward Branch Greenway and Kansas Extension multi-use path terminate on either side of the river, roughly 1 mile northwest of the Century Family Farm. Ben Traeger, Executive Director of Ozarks Greenways, said Nix's new park presents an opportunity for the city to connect to other walking trails in Greene County. That's the vision I see, Traeger said. It's an idea that makes a lot of sense and it's really worth exploring. The Ozark Transportation's Organization interactive online map shows that in the future, Ozark Greenways plans to build trails following the James River and Farm Road 141 into Christian County. The biggest obstacle is the river. How are you going to get across or get through the river, Klaus said. That will be one thing that we have to tackle at some point on how we can connect up there. Developing a plan and having some ideas on how to do that will be a big part of that plan moving forward. Ozarks Greenways does not have a current plan or funding in place to achieve this. However, Traeger said there is a precedent of crossing the major waterway in other Ozark Greenways developments. The vision is that we'd connect Nixa to the greater system, he said. He referenced the Chadway Flyer Trail development that will someday link neighboring Ozark to Springfield.
This is from the 417, the business. Greene County residents face loss of benefits and rising health care costs. National reports indicate COVID-era subsidies will likely end December 31st as the Senate fails to advance proposals. An editor's note: this story has been updated with additional statements from Cots Health. In his 40 years as an insurance advisor, Michael DeFontes says he has never witnessed a more distressing health plan enrollment season. The crying is the hardest part to watch. The first bad news surfaced when Cots Health's officials announced in October that Cots Health Plans will no longer offer its health insurance marketplace plan to Greene and Webster County residents in 2026. It means some 4,300 Cots Health Plan members in Greene and Webster will lose the only marketplace plan providing them access to their Cots primary care doctors, specialists, and hospitalists. Cots also severed ties with Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield's marketplace plan, Anthem Pathways. To take advantage of the marketplace offerings, Greene and Webster residents must switch to one of 4 plans accepted at Mercy Hospital, Springfield, before enrollment ends in December 31st. A Mercy spokesperson and Mercy can accommodate these new patients. The Affordable Care Act, ACA, of 2010 created the health insurance marketplace on healthcare.gov, where individuals and small businesses could shop for federally subsidized health plans. They could also apply for income-based tax subsidies, which were later enhanced during the COVID-19 pandemic to help lower their costs, but are now expected to expire on December 31st. More than 417,000 Missourians in 2025 were covered by ACA marketplace plans, a 62% increase over 2023 as people lost Medicaid coverage and shifted to the subsidized marketplace. According to Washington University's Center for Advancing Health Services, Policy and Economics Research, county-level enrollment numbers are not readily available. In announcing the change in its plan, Cots officials cited a significant disruption in healthcare, saying the financial dynamics beyond our control forced Cots Health into a difficult position with Greene and Webster counties. Echoing alarms raised by state and national analysts about steeper prices coming, Cots officials noted that insurance providers everywhere are assessing their plans in light of rising medical costs and volatility in the market. New data released in October by the Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance shows healthcare premiums will rise an average of 30% in 2026. This year has been a challenging one for the health insurance industry nationwide. With new federal rules and ongoing litigation creating uncertainty for insurers and consumers alike, state officials said. We recognize the impact this change has made for a number of our neighbors, COTS officials said, and will work toward solutions for 2027 coverage. They note that Green and Whistler policyholders have no non-marketplace options such as short-term plans, employer-sponsored plans, the Springfield Area Chamber of Commerce, small group plans, and more. COTS Health says it will work with other insurers. We acknowledge that the continuity of care is important, COTS Health said in a statement to the Daily Citizen. Our understanding is that eligibility for continuing of care following an insurance change is determined by the patient's insurance plan, and COTS Health will actively reach out to other ACA plans to offer in-network rates to facilitate continuation of care for these patients if they are amenable, says Bobby Venable, who at 64 is one of those losing her affordable market plan. I would love to have the COTS decision makers to sit in oncology waiting room and just see those people and say, guess what? December 31st, you will have to go somewhere else. Meanwhile, residents of Berry, Lawrence, Stone, and Taney counties can keep their marketplace COTS health plan and their doctors, but it is not all good news for them either. COTS health plans will impose a substantial average increase of 30.4% on its 2026 health insurance plans offered both on and off the marketplace, with a maximum of 38% and a minimum of 23.18%, according to data from the Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance. If the expanded subsidies expire as expected, premiums per member per month could jump from $663.36 in 2025 to $841.07 after January 1st, for a reported 9,345 enrollers in those 5 counties. State data also shows the increase in 2026 plans accepted at Mercy Springfield Hospital and other health systems. It is very emotional. DeFontes nods toward an empty chair opposite his office desk, where one by one clients have sat and shared their miseries since the enrollment period began November 1st. I've had 4 different people now crying with me because they can't get a plan that allows them to go to their doctor, some with pretty horrific health issues. People want to continue care with their established cardiologist, endocrinologist, rheumatologist, DeFontes said, or they're testing right now for something and they're in the middle of a diagnosis. There are a lot of diabetics and they have to go see their doctor a lot of times, every 3 or 6 months, and have labs run. It's important for them to stay on treatment. He compares the upheaval his clients are experiencing to a divorce. It's very emotional to them. One client had hip replacement surgery scheduled in February at COTS before he learned his marketplace coverage there ends December 31st. He's hoping that there's a last-minute miracle and there'll be a plan for him that allows him to use his COTS doctor and his surgeon, DeFontes says. Then there's this. One client with property in Christian County was thinking of changing his address. DeFontis said half and just so he can have a Christian County address. Rhonda Long, an agent/broker for nearly 10 years, says her clients have expressed disappointment, disbelief, and frustration. It has been very difficult for Greene and Webster County residents to understand how their neighbors in Christian County or Polk County can still have a 2026 COTS health plan, yet they cannot, Long says. As brokers, it is disheartening to see our clients with such limited options for network providers, she adds. We are blessed with two exceptional healthcare systems here in southwest Missouri, and it is a shame that all our residents do not have ongoing access to both systems for their health care needs. A double whammy. Many of their clients were already bracing for those higher costs coming January 1st. People are very upset, DeFont says. People are crying because the premium has gone up 2 or 3 times what they were paying. U.S. industry watchers, including KFF, which is the former Kaiser Family Foundation, predict a 20% increase in monthly premiums on the ACA marketplace due to increased demand and uncertainty about the future of the enhanced federal tax subsidies. KFF further estimates that if those expire, subsidized insurance enrollers will see monthly premiums more than double. Contentious debate in Congress over extending those subsidies as part of a funding bill led to the 43-day government shutdown last fall. The New York Times reported Thursday, December 11th, that the Senate failed to advise either a Democrat or Republican health care proposal, making it all but certain that expanded Affordable Care Act subsidies will expire December 31st, leading to lower subsidies and fewer people who qualify. Worried about my community. Elisa Coonrod, a longtime nurse in public health, worries that higher insurance rates and loss of expanded tax subsidies will cause the financially fragile clients she serves to drop their and their families' health coverage. She is a medical volunteer at One Door in Springfield, which provides housing and shelter intakes and referrals for homeless individuals. I am worried about my community, she says. A December KFF poll found that 1 in 4 Americans in the marketplace said they would very likely cancel their health insurance if premiums double because Congress fails to extend them into 2026. I have been actively calling my elected officials, reminding them, I'm a nurse. I've seen this for many, many years. And what is going to happen to people will go without coverage and they will die. As a Greene County resident herself, Coonrod is sorry to lose her marketplace access to COTS on December 31st. Their monthly premium was $922 a month, but her tax subsidy dropped it to $339 a month in 2025. She was aghast when the marketplace exchange automatically enrolled her in an Am-Better plan honored at Mercy and sent her an invoice for the first monthly premium of $1,136. Uncertain about future subsidies, she signed up for a short-term private insurance plan to carry her through April. When she goes on Medicare, she can go to keep her COTS physicians in 2026, and though her new monthly premium is over $500, she said it's a lot better than $1,136. Navigating the insurance storm. With the December 15th enrollment deadline looming for coverage on January 1st, to January 15th for coverage beginning February 1st. Greene and Webster residents are finding other options. Robbie Venable's monthly premium was $219 without a subsidy, with a $7,500 annual deductible. The Greene County 64-year-old has had her share of surgeries, 2 hip, 2 knee replacements. An individual plan off or not offered on the marketplace with COTS would have cost over $548 in monthly premiums. Instead, she enrolled in a marketplace plan with access to Mercy for $280 a month and a $10,000 annual deductible. And I just pray I don't have to use it, she says. Excuse me. Until Venerable qualifies for Medicare in August and returns to Cox, she says she'll postpone checkups, get her prescriptions for the year filled in advance, and hopefully nothing bad happens. Journalist Jan Peterson has gone to Cox Health for 30 years, but Cox no longer accepts her marketplace plan with Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. That monthly premium was $937. Her annual income at the time qualified her for a modest subsidy of only about $100. That same Anthem Gold plan in 2026 would cost her $1,369 a month, she says. Because her job writing for federal publications ended in August, she has enrolled in a Medica Bronze plan on the marketplace with access to Mercy and a $993.10 monthly premium. If Congress extends the so-called enriched subsidies, she qualifies for a $654 tax credit, thanks to my recent job loss, lowering her monthly premium to $339.10. If they expire and she doesn't qualify for the subsidies, revert to lower pre-COVID levels, she'll be responsible for her monthly premium of $993.10 with Medica. The subsidies are based on the projected annual income that enrollees report to the government when they apply. If they are extended beyond December 31st, and Peterson's fortunes change with a good job contract in 2026, I will get hit with a tax bill, she says. I feel like I'm doomed either way. And yes, I'm sure I will have to pay back the subsidy in January if credits weren't extended, she says. I told my husband, Greg, to brace for a $654 subsidy bill in January. A word to the wise. Residents getting a marketplace plan, such as Ambetter or Medica, directing them to Mercy and expecting to pay out of pocket to see their favorite Cox doctor will be in for a disappointment. Cox spokesman Randy Berger said marketplace plans do not offer out-of-network benefits, so those patients would be responsible for 100% of costs at Cox. Patients in special cases such as pregnancy and oncology can contact their insurance carriers to discuss transition care options, he said. Waiting for a miracle. While taking a break recently in his Springfield office between clients, DeFontis pulls a legal pad from his desktop. The page is filled, single-spaced, with names of some 30 clients who were still in the decision limbo in a week before the December 15th enrollment deadline. There's all people that are on either Cox Health Plans or Anthem that are waiting to see if something changes before they make a final decision, he says. Some are hoping for a miracle, he adds, a change of heart at Cox, or a congressional vote to extend subsidies. I just blocked out the last day of open enrollment to call everybody. to say, here's where we're at. What are we going to do? Now here is Gay.
A story from the Associated Press out of Los Angeles and reporter Akim Powell. Director-actor Robert Reiner and his wife Michelle were found dead Sunday at a Los Angeles home owned by Reiner, according to law enforcement officials briefed on the investigation. The official could not publicly discuss details of the investigation and spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity. Investigators believe they suffered stabbed wounds, and a family member is being questioned by investigators, the official said. The Los Angeles Fire Department said it responded to a medical aid request shortly after 3:30 p.m. and found a 78-year-old man and a 68-year-old woman dead inside Reiner's home. Detectives with the Robbery Homicide Division were investigating an apparent homicide at the Reiner's home, said Captain Mike Bland with the Los Angeles Police Department. Reiner was one of the most prolific directors in Hollywood, and his work included some of the most memorable movies of the 1980s and 90s, including This Is Spinal Tap, A Few Good Men, When Harry Met Sally, and The Princess Bride. His role as a meathead in Norman Lear's 1970 TV classic All in the Family, alongside Carol O'Connor as Archie Bunker, catapulted him to fame and won him 2 Emmy Awards. Relatives of Lear, the legendary producer who died in 2023, said they were bereft by the news. Norman often referred to Rob as a son, and their close relationship was extraordinary to us and the world. And the Lear family statement, Norman would have wanted to remind us that Rob and Michelle spent every breath trying to make this country a better place, and they pursued that through their art, their activism, their philanthropy, and the love of family and friends. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass called Reiner's death a devastating loss for the city. Rob Reiner's contributions reverberated through America's culture and society, and he has improved countless lives through his creative work and advocacy fighting for social and economic justice, Bass said in a statement. An acclaimed actor, director, producer, writer, and engaged political activist, he always used his gifts in the service of others. The son of comedian legend Carl Reiner, Rob Reiner was married to photographer Michelle Singer Reiner in 1989. The two met while he was directing When Harry Met Sally and have 3 children together. Reiner was previously married to actor-director Penny Marshall from 1971 to 1981. He adopted her daughter, Tracy Reiner. Carl Reiner died in 2020 at the age of 98, and Marshall died in 2018. Locally, according to an article from the Springfield News-Leader by Claudette Riley, recently Lisa Rao passed away. She was a Silver Dollar City champion and also worked at KY3. She spent more than 3 decades telling the story of Silver Dollar City as its director of publicity and public relations. She died early December 11th at the age of 64. She is part of our history. She was woven into our fabric, said Peter Hershend, co-founder of Hershend Family Entertainment Corporation, which started the Branson theme park, in an interview with the News-Leader. She was so much a part of Silver Dollar City, down to the laces in her shoes. Hershend reached by phone at the annual lunch for Silver Dollar City's 1,300 employees, described Rao as a part of our family, and as he was notified at 6 a.m. with a phone call of her death. Rao recently had heart surgery and had been recovering in a Springfield hospital. Brad Thomas, president of Silver Dollar City Attractions, told the News-Leader that he was incredibly sad and was mourning the loss. Lisa was a member of our work family for more than 3 decades before retiring in 2023. Her passion for telling the stories of our special city and the Ozarks was unparalleled. As our PR director, she built a legacy of the theme park relations through historic ride launches, grand openings, and stunts with integrity, wrote Silver Dollar City in December 11th statement. She was a tireless champion of our culture all along the way. Her impact will live on in the hearts of our citizens. Rao, who grew up in Michigan, moved to Missouri to go to Stevens College to study communications. She landed a job at KY3 in 1984 after a stint as a weather forecaster. She then became a reporter and on to anchor. She was a good, strong news person and then moved to Silver Dollar City, recalled Louise Wall-Nauer. She is a former News-Leader journalist who has worked in a high-profile communication roles with the city and the Community Foundation of the Ozarks. A lot of people still remember her from KY3, but what really defined her was her years at Silver Dollar City. After 5 years at KY3, Rao started a 34-year run at Silver Dollar City. In the newsroom, she was this very lively person and gave off sparks sometimes and had the energy that you love to see, said veteran KY3 news anchor Steve Grant in an interview with the News-Leader. Grant said on air and in person she was kind, empathetic, and had a contagious smile. Later in her role at Silver Dollar City, she consistently came up with fresh and interesting ways to promote what was happening at Silver Dollar City and Branson. One time, she brought a pumpkin carver to the KY3 studio to chisel out Grant's likeness while he worked. She just let the world know about Branson in such a great way, he said. Grant said after he was named president of the Mid-America chapter of the Emmy Awards, he reached out to Rao with an idea to bring the ceremony to Branson. It took about 5 minutes, he said. Asked how she will be remembered, Grant said, as someone who showed the rest of us how it was done, and she was a natural at it. The communication field is a little sadder place without her, he said. In 2023, after retiring from Silver Dollar City, Rao became the Director of Communications for the City of Branson. She stepped away at the end of 2024 to start her own consulting business, Lisa Rao Communications. Wall-Nauer said Rao, who lived in Kimberling City, enjoyed a slower pace of life, spent more time traveling, and devoted more attention to her health. She had just reached a really good place. Any room she was in she just filled the room, she said. At the end of last week, Rao had heart surgery and wanted to feel stronger before receiving visitors. Wall-Nauer said she had been texting with Rao the afternoon of December 10th and hoped to visit her in the hospital on the 11th. She was just one of those larger-than-life personalities. She was very energetic. When she believed in something, she could preach it, which made her a good public relations person who also grew up in Michigan and became friends with Rao. Cora Scott, Director of Public Relations and Civic Engagement for the city, described Rao as a role model in the career field. When I entered the communication field in the early 1990s, Lisa Rao was an obvious role model. She had grace under pressure and she was an outstanding communicator. She and I took similar paths in our careers, both starting out in journalism and then moving into public relations and community outreach roles. Scott said in a statement to the News-Leader, "Over the years, we helped one another, shared crisis communication stories, and were kindred spirits in our love for the Ozarks." Scott added, "When I think of Silver Dollar City, I will always think of Lisa Rao and her impact on its positive reputation and growth. She was a dynamo. She was full of energy and will be remembered for decades to come for her work promoting our region." And now Pat will read us a new story.
This is coming from the Springfield Daily Citizen. The title, Building Stability, Repairing Hope, How Springfield Helps Habitat Transform Lives. There's a picture here of a young girl. She has drawn a picture of her dream home. It's blue with a pink roof. I find that interesting. She is just looking forward to the new home that she will live in someday. The season of giving reminds us how important home truly is, a place where families find safety, stability, and room to grow. At Habitat for Humanity of Springfield, Missouri, that vision becomes reality every day thanks to the people who shop, donate, volunteer, and partner with us. For more than 30 years, Habitat Springfield has worked alongside local families to build, repair, and preserve safe, affordable housing. Through community support and the hard work of partner homebuyers, Habitat creates lasting change, not just building houses, but building futures. Their mission of seeking to put God's love into action comes to life through 3 core pillars: what you do, what we do, and what they gain. These pillars show how the entire community plays a role in creating home, family, and hope. What you do: shop, donate, and volunteer. There's pictures here of a lady shopping at the Restore, and she's considering a red cabinet. There's a gentleman and a woman loading some home supplies into the back of a truck, and then a group of men, hard workers, lifting the framed wall up in a new home. I was homeless, and when I got myself back on my feet, I was able to furnish 90% of my apartment from the Restore. To know that my shopping helped others with their home makes it a perfect circle. This was from a Restore shopper. Positive change begins with you. When you shop, donate, and volunteer, you help Habitat build, repair, and vitalize homes and our community. You shop. Springfield's Thrift Superstore. When you shop at the Restore, you save money while investing in your neighbors and community and reducing waste in local landfills. Every purchase helps Habitat home building, repair, and neighborhood revitalization programs across Greene County. Shop at Springfield's Thrift Superstore. Donate. Funds or household items. A gift of any kind helps build or repair homes where families can feel safe and thrive. Your support makes stability and self-reliance possible for families working hard towards home ownership. Donate funds or gently used household goods, drop off or free pickup. You must check their website for details. There are many ways you can help, from becoming a home builder or corporate partnerships to stock, land, or property gifts. Volunteer. Build homes and hope. When you give your time, you join the #1 home builder powered by volunteers. No experience is needed. Habitat teaches all skills on site. Volunteers contribute on construction sites, in the Restore, and at special events, on committees, and even on the board of directors. Every hour given creates stronger futures for local families. What we do: build, repair, and revitalize. There's a picture of a yellow hard hat with Habitat for Humanity on the front of it, and volunteer stabilizing the guttering on the side of a house, and more volunteers with a lawnmower and clearing some land for perhaps enlarging or adding to a home. When you shop, donate, and volunteer, you help us build, repair, and revitalize homes in our community. Your generosity powers our home building program, keeps critical home repairs possible through the skilled companies we partner with, and helps us revitalize neighborhoods through our volunteer events like Rock the Block. Every bit of support moves our community forward, and we're grateful for those who choose to be a part of that impact. Through Habitat's home buying program, families and individuals partner with Habitat to rebuild or renovate a home they will purchase with an affordable mortgage. Future homeowners complete hundreds of hours of sweat equity, financial education, budgeting classes, and home maintenance training, entering home ownership confident and prepared. Build, a hand up, not a handout. Through Habitat's home buying program, families and individuals partner with Habitat to build or renovate a home they will purchase with an affordable mortgage. Future homeowners complete hundreds of hours of sweat equity, financial education, budgeting classes, and home maintenance training, entering homeownership confident and prepared. Repair, roofing, HVAC, bathrooms, and more. Habitat's Home and Repair and Preservation Program keeps people in their homes by addressing critical health and safety needs. These repairs allow those challenges to remain in place, maintain independence, and stay rooted in their neighborhoods. Revitalize, neighborhood pride and community health. Neighborhood revitalization strengthens entire communities through beautification, cleanup events, community building, and safety initiatives. Habitat's Rock the Block, Rally in the Alley, and other neighborhood projects improve the quality of life for anyone who calls these areas home. What they gain: home, family, and hope. There's a picture of the caption says, "A partner family celebrates receiving the keys to their Habitat home, the beginning of a new chapter filled with hope." And I suspect it's the same little girl that was in the first picture. She's rather excited about the prospect of having her new home. An older woman, just very, very satisfied that finally she has a place to call home. And a middle-aged couple that finally is feeling at home. Habitat does not give away homes. It partners with families who demonstrate need, willingness to partner, and the ability to meet programs' requirements. Community support, restore revenue, and local partnerships make these life-changing opportunities possible. Home. Families gain the stability of a safe, affordable place to call their own. Here's a quote from a partner homebuyer, Amy and Nathan Maddox. "We just want to thank everybody. Habitat wouldn't be possible without donors, without the community's help and their involvement." Family. A stable home provides safe space for children to grow, learn, and thrive. Faith Walker, a partner home buyer, says, "Our home will have an impact on their futures. My little self is happy." And hope. With support and education, families gain confidence and tools needed for long-term success. Chase and Abby Haskett, partner home buyers, say, "After finishing all the requirements, we feel very well equipped to be homeowners." Building Springfield together. Habitat for Humanity Springfield, Missouri is committed to building, repairing, and revitalizing homes across our community. Work made possible through the generosity, involvement, and dedication of local residents. Thank you to everyone who shops, donates, volunteers, partners, and advocates. Together we build homes, we build community, and we build hope. And now back to Gay.
We are broadcasting live from the Blind Community Thrift Store, the world's first retail store to use NaviLens to help navigate and inform blind and visually impaired individuals while shopping with little to no assistance. For more information, visit our website at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Veterans receive a 25% discount every day, providing significant savings as a token of our appreciation for their service. Additionally, the store features a weekly clothing sale where all clothing items are at a 50% off every Wednesday. Seniors age 55 and older benefit from a 25% discount every Tuesday, making shopping more affordable for the senior community. Some local activities that you might like to attend. From the Greene County, Missouri Facebook post, come and enjoy beautiful Christmas music in the Greene County Historic Courthouse this December. The December 17th on Wednesday will be the last performance. At noon, it will be the Courthouse Chorale. Downtown on the square, there are some free activities until December 20th. You can get your photo with Santa from 5 to 8 p.m. every Friday and Saturday until December 20th. There's a lighted holiday train ride through Central Park from 5 to 8 Friday and Saturdays. And December 19th and 20th, there are free carriage rides from 6 to 9 p.m. Also, you can participate in some activities at the Greene County Libraries. This is from their website. There is a Jane Austen birthday celebration at the Schweitzer Brentwood Branch Library from 6 until 8 on Tuesday, December 16th. After a year of celebrating the day of Jane Austen's 250th birthday has now arrived. Join us for trivia, craft projects, and reflect on a year with Jane. The Travelogue, Hallmarks of Scandinavia, at the Schweitzer Brentwood Branch Library in the Community Room on December 18th from 2 until 3, you can enjoy a relaxing afternoon in Scandinavia. Sit back, relax, and explore a new place on the third Tuesday of each month. This month, it's from Denmark's royal castles and Norway's mountains and waterfalls to Sweden's historic sites and vibrant cities. Explore Scandinavia as library staff Rebecca Harris is. She is going to account her 3 countries that she traveled in just 2 weeks. Christmas country music with Dottie Dillard and Anita Kerr. This is going to be at the Library Center on Thursday, December 18th from 7 to 8. Celebrate the legacy of legendary Nashville Quartet and their classic holiday and hit recordings for the hour on December 18th from 7 to 8. Silver Screen Surfers, The Little Shop Around the Corner. It's a G-rated movie that you can see at the Ash Grove Branch Library in their community room from 10 until noon on Friday, December 19th. And this is one that we all know is coming, but we really don't want to think about it, from the Greene County, Missouri website. Greene County 2025 personal property and real estate taxes are due by December 31st. Citizens can look up their statements and make payments at www.countycollector.com. Don't wait to pay, but you need to pay now to avoid penalties and interest. If paid online, taxes are due before midnight on December 31st. If paid by mail, the envelope must have a USPS postmark no later than December 31st. If paid in person in room 109 of the historic courthouse in Springfield, the last day is at 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, December 31st. Citizens can also pay by phone at 888-523-0054. You can find your tax and ID PIN with the Greene County Statement and Receipts button at www.countycollector.com or on your mailed statement. If you can't find an online personal property or real estate tax statement for 2025, you can contact the Greene County Assessor's Office at 417-868-4101. Citizens can also apply for the senior tax credit at https greenecountymissouri.gov.collector.
Well, I have another article from the Springfield Daily Citizen. It's nearing the end of the year, and MSU has named the latest class of Citizen Scholar Award winners. The winners were recognized for a wide variety of campus and community involvement. This comes out of the Springfield Daily Citizen's College and Universities news. They have a great picture here of all 6 of the students that have received these awards, and the names will be listed later in the article, but I'll just reading them left to right. Megan Bolin, Robert Thomas Gumersell, Chandler Harris, Mariah Lazarga, Jessica Snare, and Sam Wang were named Thursday as the latest class of Citizen Scholars, and this picture was provided by MSU. The latest class of Citizen Scholars at Missouri State University features 6 students who are heavily involved in numerous activities on both campus and off. The Board of Governors recognized the latest class on December 11th. The program was created in 2007 to recognize success in academics and carrying out the university's public affairs mission. It is the highest award available to students and requires a nomination from a faculty or staff member. Dee Cisco, Vice President of Student Affairs, said the award recipients represent the best of Missouri State and make outstanding ambassadors. The selection process was difficult, she said. It was definitely a difficult task, Sissoko said during the board meeting. We had 17 outstanding nominees, and these 6 rose to the top because of their accomplishments, their school and community involvement, and their attitude in all that they do. The award winners include Megan Boland, a junior from Springfield studying special education. She participates in Bears Lead as a Bear Power ambassador, member of the Pride Band, and other bands. After graduation, she plans to teach elementary special education, then pursue a master's degree in gifted education and a doctorate in organizational leadership. Robert Thomas Gurmesel, a senior from Springfield studying communication studies. He has been active in student government associations as a director of university affairs, as well as Tau Sigma. He also founded RT's Project Suitcase. His career plans include teaching at the college level and ultimately working towards becoming a university dean or president. Chandler Harris, a senior from Rogers, Arkansas, who is studying entertainment management in the accelerated MBA program. He is a board member for Home for Dinner, Inc., and runs his own freelance production company. After graduation, Chandler plans to work in operations management or focus on growing his business. Mariah Lazarga, a graduate student from Santa Cruz, Bolivia, is a teacher working as a bilingual liaison for the university's first all-Spanish language master's program. She is also a board member of Ozarks Lyric Opera. After graduation, she plans to earn a doctorate in communication. Jessica Snare, a senior from Warrensburg, is studying cybersecurity and IT infrastructure. She founded and directs the university's Cyber Cubs Youth Technology Summer Camp and is also president of the Association for Business Information Technology Students. A career with ConocoPhillips awaits Snare after graduation. Sam Huang, a senior from Springfield, is an honors college student studying anthropology. He serves on Student Government Association as student body vice president and former chief of staff. He also worked through AmeriCorps to benefit the Bear Pantry. After graduation, he will pursue master's and doctorate degrees in anthropology with the goal of teaching higher education and staying involved with nonprofits. This article was written by Joe Hadsel, and Joe is the education reporter for Springfield Daily Citizen. Hadsel has more than 2 decades of experience reporting in the Ozarks with the Joplin Globe, Christian County Headliner, and 417 magazine.
This is an article under the SBA and SBJ. It is an opinion. The title is Tech Skills Gap is Real. We can't wait for someone to come along and fix it. This was written by Matthew Stubblefield, guest columnist. This fall, a local tech company owner told me about their 3-month search for an entry-level candidate who could write basic code, use artificial intelligence, tools, and communicate with stakeholders. 5 years ago, that would have been a mid-level role. The position is still open. This isn't unique. Research from Signal Fire and Ravio shows entry-level tech jobs declined 50% to 73% between 2022 and 2025, with employers redefining entry-level as AI takes over tasks that used to train new workers. LinkedIn found that 29% of job postings labeled entry-level now require 3 years of experience. Meanwhile, Microsoft's 2024 survey of 31,000 workers found 2/3 of business leaders wouldn't hire someone at lacking AI skills. We're caught in a paradox. AI eliminates the work that used to train entry-level workers, while simultaneously becoming a required skill for those same entry-level positions. An urgent problem. According to a recent survey from Amazon Web Services, only 31% of U.S. educational institutions offer AI training, and just 6% teach workplace AI skills. Even in college, only 39% of students received any AI instruction. Stanford's 2025 study using ADP payroll data found a 16% decline in employment for workers ages 22 to 25 in AI-impacted jobs like software development and customer service support. Lightcast data shows job postings mentioning of AI skills tripled since 2022, with a 28% to 43% salary premium. Students need skills that didn't exist in curricula a year ago. The gap extends beyond technical skills to workplace soft skills, including communication and collaboration, abilities that used to be developed on the job and those vanishing entry-level positions. Parents should be concerned. Your high schooler or college student is entering a workforce that looks nothing like the one you entered. That summer internship pipeline that used to lead to full-time positions, Handshakes in 2025 internship index found tech internships now receive 273 applications per opening, near double the previous year. The traditional career ladder is collapsing. Students need to graduate with skills that used to take 2 years on-the-job training to develop. And it's not their fault. Research from the Kogod School of Business is clear. 78% of young people say that their schools didn't prepare them for this AI-driven workplace. We're asking 22-year-olds to hit the ground running with tools they'll never been taught to use. What is your child's school doing right now to prepare them for this reality? Local response: Springfield's business community has recognized a gap in soft skills. Here are some local programs that help prepare young people. 1. Greater Ozarks Centers for Advanced Professional Studies, better known as GoCaps, provides hands-on career exploration with real-world projects emphasizing communication and collaboration skills that employers consistently identify as missing from new graduates. Number 2, Aspire Youth Services offers job readiness workshops focused on labor market navigation and foundational workplace skills, helping young people understand not just what jobs exist, but how to successfully enter them. Number 3, Springfield Tech Council is helping facilitate critical conversations between providers like these and the businesses experiencing skills gaps firsthand. This month, we hosted a workforce needs session where local employers shared their current and future workforce needs. This information will directly inform curriculum development at local colleges and high schools. What businesses must do now? Waiting for educational institutions to catch up isn't a strategy. Here's what Springfield businesses should do. Number 1, partner directly with schools. Share your actual job requirements and help educators understand what job really means in 2025. 2, invest in early talent development. The collapse of entry-level positions creates a pipeline problem. Consider apprenticeships or structured onboarding that develops skills rather than requiring them up front. Number 3, share your workforce needs. Connect with Jessica Holden at the Springfield Area Chamber of Commerce Economic Development Team to ensure your hiring requirements inform local curriculum development. Number 4, hire for potential and train for skills. Focus on foundational capabilities such as critical thinking, communication adaptability, and build the technical skills. This isn't just about filling current openings. Every young person who falls through the education employment gap represents lost economic potential for our region. Every business that can't find qualified workers slows our collective growth. Springfield has the organizations, the expertise, and the will to address this challenge. What we need now is coordinated action. Businesses actively participating in workforce development, not just complaining about skill gaps. The world changed rapidly. Our response must be equally swift. And here is Pat.
And this is from the Springfield News-Leader. Again, this is a brand new article this morning out of Galloway. Galloway, their Community Improvement District, has not filed tax reports, paid city fees since 2020. The article is rather lengthy, but quite informative. For 5 years, some businesses in Galloway Village have been collecting an additional 1 cent sales tax to go toward community improvements. While the tax is estimated to have brought in more than $200,000 since 2020, no projects have been funded, and annual financial reports documenting revenues received from the taxes have never been filed. In 2019, Springfield City Council approved the creation of CID, the Galloway Community Improvement District, a separate political subdivision that can impose a sales tax to refund public improvement projects after a petition was filed with signatures of more than 50% of property owners that account for at least 50% of the assessed value within the district. The Galloway CID, established to continue for 20 years after inception, encompasses roughly 87 acres along Lone Pine Avenue between Republic Road and just north of Lacuna Street. When the CID was established, it identified projects such as mowing and landscaping, holiday lighting and decorations, and marketing and image enhancements to be funded through the additional tax. While some CIDs are established to reimburse infrastructure costs as part of a development project, as was the case for Buc-ee's, the Galloway CID was solely focused on community improvement and beautification projects outside of any new developments. But 5 years of tax collection have still resulted in no progress, and the district has remained out of compliance with city and state regulations since establishment. There is a picture of the of Lone Pine, I believe, going down, Galloway Village, taken back in September, just showing it as it is right now. COVID-19 administrative turnover source of problem. In the past few months, the CID Board of Directors has been working to get the district's books in order, tracking every transaction involving funds receiving with the state, received, registering with the state, and paying the city the fees it owes from the past 5 years. But how did the district get so far out of compliance, and why has it taken 5 years to start fixing it? Amy Van Dam, owner of Firehouse Pottery, chaired the board until her resignation on December 11th. Interviewed by the News-Leader prior to that, she said the Galloway CID suffered from the onset of COVID-19 pandemic and also administrative turnover that made district business harder to track. The CID board is a volunteer board made of property and business owners within the district's boundaries. With everyone being business owners, we also were scrambling to try to stay on top of all of the changes that were happening during that time, Van Dam said. Business owners were trying so hard to make it during COVID. Van Dam said the board had hired a CID administrator but later fired them after learning they were not completing the work promised. While the CID found someone else to fill the role and help the board with administrative matters, again, she said, issues were found in the work completed. Van Dam told the News-Leader she could not comment further on personnel matters. The board was currently looking to hire its third permanent CID administrator. The article is accompanied by a few pictures of the downtown Galloway area, the Galloway Village area, all back in September. During the first few years of CID, the district was receiving tax revenues from the state in form of checks, some of which had gone stale and expired after not being deposited and being sent to the original CID administrator's office. Van Dam said the district has had almost all of those reissued and is in the process of doing so with the remainder. She said all of the CID's revenue is accounted for. None of the funds were ever missing, she said. While Van Dam said she became aware of issues and notified the board in early 2023, it was hard to make any meaningful progress as coming out of the pandemic, multiple board members became inactive. This meant the board did not have quorum and could therefore not vote to take any action. When the CID was established, the board was set up to have 15 members. This was amended this September by Springfield City Council to include only 6 members. By law, the CID is required to have a minimum of 5 members. The lack of quorum, combined with the lack of continuity in the manager role, resulted in the CID now working to correct the past 5 years of financial reporting and tracking. With the board makeup amended, more progress has been possible in recent months as the board now can more easily have a quorum. The board has hired Jessica Pearson, who led the creation of the CID in 2019 as an employer of the Green Circle project that developed Quarrytown in the area, as an interim administrator to pull together documents, track transactions, and get the district in compliance. The board has acted promptly as soon as we identified the compliance gaps, and our sole focus has been to bring CID into compliance and to move forward, Van Dam says. It's just that our hands were tied for a period of time until we could get a quorum. At the December 5th CID board meeting, the board discussed having to dissolve an LLC that was created in order to set up a previous bank account for the CID, as political subdivisions are not allowed to hold LLCs. As of December 12th, the Galloway CID LLC was still active according to the Missouri Secretary of State Business Database. At the meeting, the board also discussed switching to a bank that did not charge monthly fees. A current one incurred significant monthly fees disproportionate to the number of transactions, getting errors and omissions insurance, and engaging professional services like an accountant and attorney to review documents. That is really important. This is really important because we want to make sure we are complying with everything, Van Dam said. And it's a tricky thing when you are trying to be good stewards of those funds and they are limited. You don't want them to get eaten up by professional fees. Yet at the same time, it's really important. CID requirement lacks enforcement teeth. The CID is a separate government entity from the city. But when the CID was established, the city entered into a cooperative agreement with the district, which lays out requirements between the parties. Those include the requirements for the district to submit its annual budget to the city and pay an administrative fee equal to 1.5% of annual tax revenues. The Galloway CID did not fulfill either of those requirements since establishment. Van Dam noted in order to authorize the payments to the city, the board needed to vote on the matter and could not do so due to the lack of quorum in early years. With the sales tax estimated to have brought in nearly $215,000, the CID owes the city more than $3,000 in administrative fees per Missouri Department of Revenue public information reports. The CID also could not fulfill either of those requirements since establishment. Van Dam noted in order to authorize the payments to the city, the board needed to, quote, vote on the matter and could not do so due to the lack of quorum in the early years. I apologize for a repeat on that paragraph. The agreement says that out of a process of handling default if the district fails to meet its obligations, though the only recourse for the city is to pursue a civil lawsuit. Per emailed answers from Matt Schaefer, the city's Assistant Director of Economic Vitality, the city did not provide any formal written notice of default, as would be required for the city to be able to pursue legal action, but has had verbal and email communications reminding the CID of its obligations. Under state law, the CIDs are required to register with Missouri Auditor's Office and file annual final financial reports to that and other state offices. The Galloway CID has not done so since its inception. Trevor Fox, Director of Communications for the Auditor's Office, told the News-Leader via email that there are no enforcement and punitive mechanisms for CIDs that are not in compliance with these requirements. He said that while many political subdivisions that have to file financial reports annually incur a $500 daily penalty for each day they are late, that is not the case for CIDs. The lack of oversight and enforcement mechanisms was highlighted in a 2018 statewide report on CIDs by the state auditor, though little progress has been made statewide. For the upcoming legislative session, a bill has been pre-filed in the Missouri House of Representatives that would require an auditor's office to grade CID reporting compliance, and any CIDs that fail to receive at least 80% compliance grade would be terminated or its board dissolved. This bill is similar to one in 2025 that died in committee. The Galloway CID is one of 21 such districts within the city of Springfield. An interactive map of all Springfield CIDs can be found at the city's website. The petition process to establish the Galloway CID was started by Green Circle Projects, which developed the mixed-use Quarrytown development, which includes apartments and commercial space, just before the formation of the CID. The development firm, which had representatives serve on the board. Owner Matt O'Reilly, in a written statement provided to the News-Leader, highlighted that the initial CID board, consisting of 15 members, was simply too large to make work effective, and said it made any kind of routine action or voting nearly impossible. All of Green Circle's involvement has been voluntary, based on original design to create the CID with a priority for stakeholder and community control. The statement read, "These things appear to be moving forward with renewed focus, organization, and a group of extremely qualified board members. I'm very hopeful that it has reached an inflection point where a critical mass of accumulated funds combined with the right structure can fulfill the original intent behind its formation." Quarrytown is no longer owned by Green Circle Projects. According to reporting by the Springfield Business Journal, the development was acquired by Fargo, an out-of-state real estate investment trust, in July. Neighborhood hopes for new activity or dissolution. Melanie Bach, president of the Galloway Village Neighborhood Association, has been a non-voting member of the CID board since its inception as a representative of the neighborhood, predating her role as president. This is not something that is typically required of CID boards and was a unique addition to this district's proposal highlighted in front of council in 2019. Bach's role has allowed the neighborhood to remain informed on the CID's happenings. A written statement provided to the News-Leader from the Neighborhood Association Board sets two options for the CID board: to either reset trajectory with more transparency, accountability, and community benefit, or dissolve. The district can only be dissolved in the same way it was created, by gathering enough signatures from property owners representing at least 50% of assessed property value within the CID's boundaries. If dissolved, the revenues collected by the CID would be left up to the Springfield City Council to allocate. No dissolution can take place until all outstanding obligations are paid, like the city's administrative fees, for example. The statement makes mention of communication issues when the additional sales tax was first rolled out, resulting in some businesses being unaware of the tax and needing to pay it out of pocket later on. Bach said this set the CID on the wrong foot and contributed to the lack of quorum on the board in its initial years. Our priority remains clear: to ensure that available resources are used in ways that meaningfully benefit residents, benefits owners, and the property and the broader Galloway community. The neighborhood statement read, "We are committed to a constructive, community-focused approach, whether through a reformed CID or a transition of these responsibilities to the city that supports a thriving and unified future for Galloway." Bach acknowledged that the lack of oversight in state law has contributed to the lack of transparency and mismanagement of CID reports, but noted that the CID from Galloway is not the worst-case scenario and has the opportunity to pivot toward a stronger future. Von Dam emphasized that there has been no malicious intent or misuse and said that the CID board is also committed to ensuring not only compliance but meaningful progress toward using the collected money on the projects it was set up to fund. Projects identified when the CID was established include branding and signage projects for placemaking, a bike repair station, and pedestrian improvements. They're all invested in the Galloway community, and they're committed to the success of this, she said. This is where we've invested our life and our livelihood, and we love this community. We want to see the improvements because this is where our businesses are. In notifying the News-Leader of her resignation as chair and member of the board, Von Dam said that her decision was based on the amount of time and attention required of the position during the transitional period. She said she noted the board had made substantial progress towards compliance and is on a stable path forward. This article was submitted by Marta Meitz of the News-Leader.
Hello. This is from the SBJ business section and it is titled Open for Business, Dutch Bros Coffee. November 7th marked the Queen City debut for Dutch Bros Coffee at 3840 West Sunshine Street, near the intersections of Sunshine Street and West Bypass. Tim Roberts is the operator of the shop, along with the second location that opened in Branson, November 15th. Both are owned by Dutch Bros Incorporated. The drive-through coffee chain was founded in Oregon over 30 years ago, along with coffee options such as lattes, espressos, and cold brew. Dutch Bros drink menu includes energy drinks such as iced tea, lemon, shakes, smoothies, and sodas. The local store's food menu consists of treats such as orange cranberry muffin top. But Robert said the company is starting to roll out hot food options in stores across the country. He expects those options to be in the Springfield and Branson stores sometime next year. Most drink prices range from $5 to $8. Dutch Bros has over 1,080 locations in 24 states as of September 30th. According to its website, the roughly 1,400 square foot Springfield store employs nearly 50 and is led by manager Keith Stuck, Roberts said, declining to disclose startup cost. Dutch Bros Coffee has a website named DutchBros.com. By Elliott Robertson and Company, a pair of Springfield-based certified public accounting firms have confirmed and combined through an acquisitions that closed last month. Elliott Robertson and Company, LLP, has purchased HTSG, SPAs, and advisors in a deal that officials say closed for undisclosed terms on November 1st. Elliott Robertson and Company is the continuing name of the combined entity through the deal. All HTSG CPA employees are transitioning to employment at ERCPA. That includes firm leaders and Stephen Arn Gitz, who is joining ERCPA as a partner, and Donald I. Hagen and Leilani I. Hagen, who will start a phased retirement transition in 2026. On Springfield Business Journal September, published list of the area's largest CPA firms, ERCPA ranked number 3 and HTSG CPAs ranked number 10, based on number of local CPAs. For the list, ERCPA reported 25 CPAs and 48 total staff members, while HTSG CPAs reported 5 CPAs and 18 total staff members. HTSG CPAs was created through the 2016 merger of Odell, Hagen and Company, LLP, Tucker and Company, PC, while ERCPA was founded in 1973. Their phone number is 417-887-0585. Their website is ercpa.com. And now back to Pat.
We are broadcasting live from the Blind Community Thrift Store in Springfield, Missouri, located at 2713 North Kansas Expressway. Find amazing deals Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Help the blind and help the community. Learn more at our website, www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. And to explore more of our video content, movie reviews with Matt and Meredith, adaptive technology training videos, and other informative materials, visit our YouTube channel by searching Blind Community Thrift Store. We are dedicated to supporting the blind community through various initiatives, and our platforms serve as valuable resources for community engagement and education. And this article is coming out of the Springfield Business Journal. It is dated actually on the 10th, but I don't suspect that it's been too widely read. It's about the council hears MoDOT plans for medians on East Sunshine, and East Sunshine being a major thoroughfare here in Springfield. This article was submitted by Karen Crago, a reporter for the SBJ. Missouri Department of Transportation has a plan to improve safety on East Sunshine Street, but an organized group of business owners and public officials expressed concerns about it at yesterday's Springfield City Council luncheon. That would have been the luncheon on the 9th of December. Thing is, council is not the decision-making body empowered either to greenlight or halt the plan. which would erect medians and limit left turns on a section of road extending east from Glenstone Avenue to Blackman Road, part of a 4.3-mile project area extending east to Farm Road 199. The plan would also eliminate some driveways to businesses that have more than one. Sunshine Street is a state highway and is therefore MoDOT's bailiwick. Among 172 U.S. cities with more than 150 residents, Springfield ranks 15th in terms of its fatality rate, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration data from 2023. MoDOT wants to address this issue head-on by limiting left turns by installing raised medians in 4 locations on the route, amounting to 3/4 of a mile or 18% of the corridor. We have no direct role in this, but MoDOT has asked us for a gut check, said Mayor Jeff Schrag. They don't need our permission. Councilmember Monica Horton asked if a resolution would be forthcoming for the decision-making body. I appreciate the update, but I'm not sure that City Council has a role. It sounds like this is a role for the state, she said. Schrag acknowledged that Council's role was an odd one. If our gut check is to ask them to not do this, we could choose to make that decision, but we don't have a role in the decision, Schrag said. Councilmember Callie Carroll asked if the plan was all or nothing. For instance, she wondered if improvements could be made in phases, forestalling the medians until a later phase after assessing the impact of other changes. Our intent is to deliver as one project, said Christy Bachman, MoDOT's project manager for the corridor. I think the concern that we have is not getting the safety benefit that we need on Sunshine Street, and anything that we do less than what we've proposed, we will not achieve that goal. The plan introduced to Council yesterday reflects changes requested by members of the business community on East Sunshine Street. The city's investment in the project would be about $200,000, according to Brett Foster, Assistant Director of Public Works. Those funds would be used for aesthetic work such as stamped concrete in the medians and to correct some gaps in the sidewalk system. MoDOT would fund the bulk of the improvements to the corridor at a cost of $11.2 million, a figure that covers resurfacing, traffic signals, pedestrian facilities, and other improvements, according to MoDOT's presentation. Foster cited uncontrolled left turns as being responsible for 74% of crashes. He added that Council is committed to a goal of 0 fatalities by 2040 and 0 severe injuries by 2050. From 2016 to 2024, the route had 1,808 total crashes, with 6 of them resulting in fatalities, 35 resulting in disability, and 530 resulting in minor injuries, according to MoDOT data. Opposition to the project. Shepherding the opposition at the meeting was Roger Allis, who first spoke out against medians in the waning days of his own city council service in 2023. Allis is CEO of Allis Acres and Arney, an insurance broker and consultancy firm located on the route. Those opposing the route were jointly assigned a 20-minute slot, the same as city and MoDOT representatives, to voice their concern. Greene County Sheriff Jim Arnott said he reviewed 5 years of data and found that 30% of the accidents en route were related to the median. He said first responders can have a delayed response when medians are in place, as they have to find the nearest intersection or opening and turn around. He also expressed concern about the danger posed by illegal U-turns from motorcycles and by foot traffic on medians. Sarah Christian, store lead at the Walmart Neighborhood Market, and Tom Conroy, general manager of Sam's Club, both on the eastern reach of the corridor, spoke together about what limited access would mean to their adjoining properties, with concerns about access for delivery trucks and the potential to increase cut-through traffic behind the stores, endangering employees. Bachman said MoDOT's expectation is for trucks to exit the stores via Blackman Road, which they would take south to Battlefield, the safest option, she said. Christian said when medians were added at the Walmart neighborhood market at the intersection of Grand Street and Campbell Avenue, the store experienced a 15% decline in business in the first 3 months following the change. She added that Walmart is large enough to absorb that loss since customers likely went to other Walmart stores, but the same would not be possible for smaller businesses with only one location. Together, the two East Sunshine Street stores have approximately 7,000 customers a day, Christian said. Todd Wilson, Chief Operating Officer of Rapid Roberts, Inc., also had historical data to share, noting that when limited access was implemented at a store location at National Avenue and Kingsley Street, it sustained a loss of 14% of its fuel gallons, or 150,000 gallons, and more than $400,000 in revenue annually. The harder we make it for people to do business in Springfield with things like this median, the more we could be losing to surrounding areas where it's easier to access fuel and stations. Rita Barron, owner of Barron Designs and Associates, LLC, says she has 5 properties on the route and feels like she has enhanced the corridor by renovating old buildings along it. She added that she pays more than $400,000 annually in property taxes. Barron thanked MoDOT for being responsive, but said she believes the road will become more dangerous from the changes. We're here to build this community to help each other, she said. We can cooperate and work together and find a way to prevent accidents and traffic. But for us to build something like this and hurt the majority of us, I feel it's not the appropriate way to do this. 2 lawmakers, Missouri Senator Curtis Trent, Republican from Springfield, and Representative Bill Owen, Republican from Springfield, shared constituent concerns about the project, and Owen said the members of his caucus in Greene County sent a letter about those. Trent said the proposed changes had been a contentious issue for a long time, but so far they have flown under the radar. My concern is based on the experience that I've had in conversations around the county is that there will be a great deal of concern amongst the general public as well about how that will impact their day-to-day business as they try to go through this very significant economic corridor in our city, Trent said. He said it is his hope that some middle ground is reached or that the project does not move forward. Alice concluded by giving the example of Bryan, Texas, a city that is looking to remove medians retrofitted onto a route like the Sunshine Street plan. He said that Bryan businesses experienced a 15% decline in sales where medians were installed. He also noted that the city of Springfield brings in 65% of its revenue from sales taxes that are a result of business activity. I'd really encourage you to consider the economic impact of what we're about to do. The business leaders asked, Alice said, is to move forward with intersection improvements, pedestrian upgrades, and repaving, but not with medians. Safety the focus. Councilmember Brandon Jensen said it's impossible to dispute the dangers of the city's roadways with its ranking as the 14th most dangerous city for traffic fatalities. I understand this request has a compromise, but installing intersections, improvements, and pedestrian access points does nothing to address the safety concerns from our community. We do not meaningfully impact safety in any significant way, he said. As we talk about potentially piecemealing this project, it's gone. It is gone. Excuse me while I find my place on this page. They do not meaningfully impact safety or in any significant way. As we talk about potentially piecemealing this project, doing those other things, we're not going to realize any safety improvement, which is the primary function of this project and should be the primary function of this project. Jensen said businesses are already being impacted by safety concerns. Bachman pointed out that a 2022 study by MoDOT showed 32,000 vehicles per day on the route, but the current traffic is 28,000 per day, the maximum recommended for the route. You're seeing already a decline in the number of cars that are passing in front of your businesses because they know that this section of Springfield is not a reliable transportation corridor if you need to get to or from somewhere in a timely fashion. MoDOT first proposed improvements, including the addition of 8-inch raised medians to Sunshine Street in a 2022 study. Through an April 2023 resolution sponsored by then Mayor Ken McClure and Council members Alice and Abe McGull, Council asked the department to suspend plans to add medians. Horton cast a sole vote against that measure. Bachman said the plan had been revised after MoDOT held a series of input sessions and met with members of the business community.
This is from the SBJ, again, business. O'Reilly family makes name-level donation for Mercy Pediatric Facility. This is written by Jeff Pickle, digital editor. Less than a month after Mercy Springfield Communities announced a $30 million pediatric outpatient center in partnership with Kansas City-based Children's Mercy, the project has secured a lead donation as part of a larger fundraising effort. The families of Charlie and Mary Beth O'Reilly, David and Stacy O'Reilly, Larry and Anya O'Reilly, and Rosalie O'Reilly Wooten are making a donation for the facility. While the family declined to disclose the amount of donation, they said it's 7 figures. The name of the pediatric facility has not yet been determined. Of the $30 million cost for the pediatric outpatient clinic, $10 million is targeted for fundraising. Charlie, Larry, David, and Rosalie are serving as honorary co-chairs for the capital campaign. Each of us are very interested in charities that benefit children in general. Rosalie said, in this case, a new opportunity to bring additional care for children to Springfield, felt like a good thing. David said their father and grandfather were part of a group of leaders who originally raised money to build St. John's, which would later take on Mercy name. O'Reilly family members have served as Mercy board members, and Rosalie additionally pointed to the C.H. Chubb O'Reilly Cancer Center at Mercy's main campus as an example of philanthropic giving to the health system. I think we feel like it has a pretty special role in our family in that regard, but obviously the bigger role is in the community, David said. Larry said when the family was approached about donating to the pediatric facility, it was an easy yes. There's only been a couple order times, I think, in our history where all of us had just kind of looked at each other and said, yeah, this is it. This is something that we've got to get behind. This is too important to our family and our community. It was like 2 and 2 is 4. It just made sense, he said, pointing to the family's giving mantra. If you're successful, if you do well in whatever you choose, always give back, always return, and that will come back to you many times over. Mercy Springfield Community's President John Myers thanked the O'Reillys for their donation and noted Alea Aldridge, Executive Director of Mercy Health Foundation Springfield, would be leading fundraising for the campaign. I just want to express appreciation and thanks to the O'Reilly family for making this gift, he said, noting the donation would be impactful, not just in Springfield, but overall Southwest Missouri. The remaining $20 million cost of the $30 million project will come from capital provided by Mercy and Children's Mercy, he added. Where to begin? Construction is scheduled to start this month at the Pediatric Outpatient Clinic, which is located at Mercy South Campus. The project site is on currently vacant land that is part of Mercy's real estate holdings that hold an orthopedic hospital, rehab facility, and newly opened emergency department at U.S. Highway 65 and Evans Road. Snyder Construction Company, LLC, is serving as a general contractor for the 40,000 square foot facility designed by HDR Engineering Incorporated. Officials expected the pediatric clinic to open in December 2026. Officials say that the planned pediatric facility would have pediatric specialists and pediatric primary care under one roof. Myers said urology and gastrology would be among the facility's services. Children's Mercy, on December 9th, announced the hiring of Dr. Troy Spild as a pediatric general surgeon for Springfield operation. It's a return to Children's Mercy for Spild, who has more than 20 years of pediatric general surgery experience and has held leadership roles in Springfield, Illinois. Dr. Spild represents the first of what we hope are many new physician hires to help us enhance the pediatric specialty services at Mercy Springfield and to fulfill our commitment to the community to improve the health and wealth of children with specialty pediatric care options closer to home, said Debbie Schwarzkopf, interim chief administrative officer who has headed up local efforts for the Children's Mercy in a news release. Mercy finalized its pediatric care agreement with Children's Mercy on November 1st. The two health systems in August signed a joint operating agreement setting up the arrangement following the announcement of a partnership between the organizations in March 2024. Children's Mercy is now providing leadership oversight of pediatrics, with providers employed by Mercy according to the deal's terms. The agreement covers Mercy's existing pediatric hospital within Mercy Hospital Springfield and its specialty care clinics, along with the future pediatric outpatient facility. The website of Children's Mercy indicates its Springfield operation is providing pediatric inpatient care, a pediatric intensive care unit, neonatal intensive care unit, pediatric surgery, pediatric emergency department, child life services, pediatric social work, pediatric respiratory therapy, and pediatric physical and occupational therapy. I turn you to Pat.
And I just lost my article, but cut me some slack. It's my first day. We have lots of things going on here for kids coming up here with Christmas going on, and looks like there was a parade. And you know what? I'm probably going to be reading something that's already been read to you, or it's already over. So give me 10 seconds, and I will get back where I was. with food on the minds of everybody that's celebrating this holiday season, here's where to find heat and eat holiday meals in the Ozarks. Whether you don't feel like cooking at all this holiday, or you only want to make Grandma Goldie's sweet potatoes, restaurants are serving up both meals and meats you can heat and eat with your family. This article was submitted to the Springfield News-Leader by Susan Zook. Here are places in the Ozark where you can get a full meal that only needs to be heated up before serving, as well as places offering savory main courses if you want to have a semi-homemade holiday. Cracker Barrel at 2858 North Glenstone has 3 holiday meal options. Folks can either pick up at their holiday ham and serve feast, ham heat and serve feast, which serves 8 to 10 people and includes side and dessert. The holiday ham and heat and serve family dinner, which serves 4 to 6, includes sides, or the prime rib heat and serve family dinner, which serves 4 to 6 people and includes sides. All options are available for pickup, and they range in price from $119 to $184. Golden Corral, 2020 East Primrose, is offering holiday meals to go, either hot and ready to serve or cold and ready to cook. Each meal serves 6 to 8 people for $149. Includes your choice of a whole roasted turkey, glazed ham, or bone-in pork roast, 2 quarts of mashed potatoes, a pint of gravy, a quart of stuffing, a pint of cranberry sauce, a dozen yeast rolls, your choice of a quart of buttered corn, green beans, macaroni and cheese, steamed broccoli, steamed carrots, or sweet potato casserole, your choice of pecan pie, pumpkin pie, apple pie, or carrot cake. Orders must be made 24 hours in advance. While Hy-Vee is closed on Christmas Day, you can order a holiday meal for anywhere from 2 to 12 people and pick it up at 2050 East Sunshine or 1720 West Battlefield Road. Place orders at least 24 hours in advance online or call 417-444-6860 for the Sunshine Street location or 417-881-1950 for the Battlefield Road location. Honey Baked Ham, 1416 East Battlefield Road, offers a variety of holiday meals with both ham and turkey available for pickup. The location is closed on Christmas Day, so you will need to pick your meal up ahead of time. Order online at honeybaked.com, store pickup /family meals. Store phone number is 417-886-4778. King Food Saver has a choice of holiday dinners, including one that serves 4 to 6 people for $79.99 and one that serves 10 to 12 people for $89.99. Both dinners include a choice of ham or turkey, choice of sides, choice of dessert, gravy, and dinner rolls. The deluxe holiday meal for $89.99 also includes a choice of appetizer. Orders must be placed at least 48 hours in advance. Price Cutter is offering a choice of holiday dinners, including one that feeds 4 to 6 people for $89.99 and one that feeds 10 to 12 people for $99.99. Both dinners include a choice of ham or turkey, choice of sides, choice of dessert, gravy, and dinner rolls. The deluxe holiday dinner for $99.99 also includes a choice of appetizer. Order must be placed at least 48 hours in advance. If you would rather just handle the meat, if you would rather someone else just handle the meat, there are options for that too. City Butcher and Barbecue, 3650 South Campbell Avenue, is offering an addition to catering tomahawk beef rib roast for $45 per pound. Call 417-720-1113 to check out availability and to reserve. Crosstown Barbecue, 1331 East Division in Springfield, is offering catering as well as smoked turkeys. Call 417-880-9237 for more information. Lolly's at 206 North 1st Street in Ozark is offering whole smoked turkeys, smoked turkey breasts, and home-cured boneless ham for purchase. The whole turkey is $7 a pound with pre-order deadline of December 17th. The smoked turkey breast is $25.50 per pound with a pre-order deadline of December 19th. And the boneless ham is $12 per pound with a pre-order deadline of December 16th. To place an order, call or text 417-369-8062. Pickup will be 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. December 22nd and 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. December 23rd. Now to get
Share Your Christmas, a story from the Springfield News-Leader. Share your Christmas thank you to all those who chose to help. What a joy it is to live in a community that responds with generosity and compassion to neighbors who need extra help during the Christmas season. Thanks to the efforts of many, many donors, the bins and boxes in the Crossline Community Outreach Warehouse are filled with gifts. There is a row of bicycles, each marked with a tag indicating a child who will receive this special gift. Lego sets, remote-controlled cars, baby dolls, or Roblox gift cards will soon be going home with parents to be wrapped and tucked under the Christmas tree. All 100 gift boxes and bags for Care Center residents are labeled and ready to be delivered to 5 local facilities. As parents called Share Your Christmas to schedule a time to pick up the gifts for their family, there were so many words of appreciation. One mother began to cry and through her tears said, "You have no idea what this means to me." Thank you to all of the donors who have given Christmas cheer and hope to share your Christmas, families, and care residents. You have made the holidays great for so many. Merry Christmas from your Share Your Christmas team. Another story from the News-Leader, which was just released about an hour ago. A 61-year-old Bolivar man was killed December 13th when he fell from a vehicle that was in motion. The Missouri State Highway Patrol said the vehicle was a maroon Dodge Caravan driven by an adult, but no details about the driver, including age or gender, were included in the online report. The Dodge was going north on South 77th Road, 2 miles west of Bolivar in Polk County at the time. The incident was reported at 8:40 p.m. Saturday, December the 13th. The patrol said the Bolivar man fell from the moving vehicle and was pronounced dead at the scene. His body was transported to a Springfield mortuary and his family has been notified. There are no other details at this time. This story was by Claudette Riley. And on this day in history, in 1939, a citywide celebration accompanied the premiere of Gone with the Wind in Atlanta, Georgia. On this day in 1939, actress Vivian Leigh and Hattie McDaniel and director Victor Fleming were among those who won Academy Awards for their work on a film that has a very controversial legacy. On this day in 2011, the Iraq War officially ended when the United States formally declared that its mission in Iraq was over. In 2001, the Leaning Tower of Pisa reopened in Pisa, Italy, after more than 10 years of work to stabilize the structure. In 1997, the U.S. Department of Defense ordered that all Americans in its service, about 2.5 million people, be inoculated against anthrax, a potential weapon of biological warfare. In 1997, Janet Jagan was elected president of Guyana, becoming the first elected female president in South Africa and the first white president ever of Guyana. In 1989, anti-government demonstrations erupted in Romania, beginning the revolution that toppled the communist leader Nicolae Conțescu for power for days after.
And here's an article from the Springfield Daily Citizen. MSU to donate land for the birthplace of Route 66 Plaza downtown. This came out on December the 12th, just a couple of days ago. There's a picture of the Park East building at 318 West Park Central East is adjacent to the parking lot owned by MSU. The lot is the site of former Colonial Hotel. Preparations for kicking off a celebration of Route 66 Centennial will include a transformation of a downtown parking lot owned by Missouri State University. At its regular meeting December 11th, the University Board of Governors agreed to donate about 2,630 square feet of space to the city of Springfield for the purpose of creating a sculpture honoring the creation of Route 66. The city and Rotary Clubs of Springfield will construct the birthplace of Route 66 Plaza, recognizing the spot where a telegram naming the route was sent almost 100 years ago. There's a picture here of the markup of a drawing of what the area will look like. It's an architectural drawing just of the parking area and where the plaza will be. This map, adapted from documents created by the City of Springfield, shows how the parking lot at Jefferson and McDaniel Streets will be altered. As part of the project, the city will rearrange the parking lot's configuration by moving the entrance of the parking lot from Jefferson Avenue to McDaniel Street. The project, worth about $25,000, calls for repairing and resealing the striping the lot once work is completed. The Springfield City Council approved the project during its December 2nd meeting. Matt Morris, MSU President of Administration and Finance, said that the work will improve safety by relocating the entrance to a road with lighter traffic. Additionally, the project will add a parking space from 52 to 53 spots. It's good from a safety standpoint because Jefferson is a one-way traffic and McDaniel is a two-way traffic and a lot lower traffic. Morris said, "We negotiated a win-win working with the city and the Rotary Club. The parking lot will remain MSU's and subject to its parking permits. The university owns the Jim D. Morris Center at the intersection of Jefferson Avenue and McDaniel Street. The building houses international services, graduate interdisciplinary programs, and other programs for foreign students. The project is hoped to be completed in the spring of 2026 in time for Route 66 centennial events. The dedication is planned for April the 30th. The highlight of the birthplace of Route 66 Plaza will be a sculpture of the Colonial Hotel by artist Juan Garzabal. He spoke to Springfield last month about his planned Ghost of the Colonial Hotel sculpture commissioned by the the Rotary Club and Sculpture Walk. It is one of the series of sculptures planned across the city to celebrate the centennial. When do we?
Volunteers lay wreaths on soldier headstones at Springfield National Cemetery. This story was by Jim Wilson. Volunteers gathered on December 13th to lay wreaths on the headstones of soldiers at the Springfield National Cemetery on East Seminole Street. John Ashcroft, former Missouri governor, U.S. Senator, and U.S. Attorney General, was the keynote speaker for the event organized by Wreaths for Warriors. The purpose of the event is to honor and remember the sacrifices service members going back to the Revolutionary War. Volunteers are needed on January 10th to collect the wreaths, and they will then be disposed. This article came with numerous pictures of various headstones for unknown soldiers, their families also visiting their headstones, and also their grandchildren and great-grandchildren. The wreaths were green evergreens and had a big red bow on them. Thank you for listening to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. Tune in every week, Monday through Friday, on the Blind Community Thrift Store's YouTube channel at 10 a.m. for more up-to-date news from the Springfield News-Leader, Springfield Daily Citizen, Springfield Business Journal, and 417 Magazine. Listen after we are live on the Audio Reader Network at www.reader.ku.edu. All broadcasts are played on KSMU's subcarrier Airways 91.1 from 3 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
12.